In this video, I am going to share with you why commercial property is so lucrative in 2025 as compared to residential property. This is a series that I am creating. There are multiple videos that I have been creating on the number of reasons, and this is another reason. So if you want to know the other reasons, so go and watch the other videos as well. Okay, that being said, this is the classic, because if you understand this reason, then that one reason alone is going to help you to create your mindset, so that to make your mindset so that you will buy commercial property, which is the multiple stream of income from a commercial property is possible. Multiple stream of income is not possible in a residential property. Let me explain. When you buy a residential property and it's a, let's say, standard house, it's a 500 square meter block and it's a 3-bedroom 1-bathroom house and it is tenanted to a family, and there's one lease and you're getting the rent. Unless you put a granny flat and unless you subdivide, unless you do something with that property, you cannot create a 2 leases or 3 leases or 4 leases. Multiple leases are not possible. Government is not going to allow it. It is illegal in Australia. Whereas in commercial property, it is absolutely legal, which means it depends on the state to state, which means, like, let's say if you have a property and that property is it's tenanted to a business people, and then it's coming to the lease is coming to an end. So in the next lease, you can say this portion, now I am going to rent it out to you, and the back side I am going to fence it and I'm going to put it as like a car shed or something, and I'm going to give it to another business. I'm going to give it to another tenant. And that is absolutely possible. It depends on the state by state though. But in Australia, there are states where it is absolutely possible. And it's not only 2. In commercial property, you can create 3, 4, 5, 6, even 8 possible on the same block, one property, one title, and it is possible. And that itself is such a powerful reason, because if you are creative, if you can bring some of the ideas, then you can create multiple leases and basically earn more money. And as you earn more money, your rent determines your property value. The growth will be significantly more as compared to a residential property. So creating multiple leases on the same property is very much possible in a commercial sector or commercial property, but that is not possible in a residential property because government is not going to allow. Now, just to give you a perspective, like we bought a property which is like a 4.5 acre of land, and the way that building was there, like it's one building here and then there is another building and third building and there is an empty land as well. Now all these things is been tenanted to one tenant. So this is one lease right now. It's a 10 years, it's a national tenant, and there's been planning to stay there for next 10-20 years. But just for argument's sake, let's say they don't want to, and they after 10 years they want to move out, then rather than giving this to all in one, you can then fence it and create it one by one, so and create 4 or 5 different leases, because it is 4.5 acre land, so it's significantly big. And you can sometimes that empty land also you can put something, you can be creative, make it a hard stand and give it to a storage company or something, and eventually 4, 5, 6 different leases it can be created. And that is significant, because you will see that you would be, for each one, if the rent goes up little bit plus you are getting 6 stream of incomes, it will be way more than having rented out only one company. Because not every company is needed that big space, so smaller space is you can collect more and more rent, which is why in commercial property it is so lucrative. You can be more creative, you can earn, your rent can go shoot up almost 100%, 150% if you are creative and if you spend a little bit of more money. That is just not possible in residential property. The residential property, the maximum, the rent is going to go up like 5%, 3%, 2%, sometimes 10%, but it's almost impossible to get 100% rental bump because you can't be creative in residential property. It is possible though in commercial property. So another reason that why commercial property is lucrative is that you can create multiple stream of income from the same property. That is not possible in residential property.